So web dev with Go, we're going to do some review. We do package main, and then we do func init. And before that, we do var tpl from package template, pointer, type template from package template, and then tpl is equal to template.must. HTML text, HTML text, HTML text, HTML text. I'm going to go with HTML. And then it's going to be template.parseGlob. And we're going to put this in templates/star.go HTML. So I'm going to create that folder. Templates folder. And you know, we could step back through and like why template must and why template parse glob, but we've already seen all that, right? And if we forgot something, we could go back and look at the documentation and hopefully understand why what fits with what. And then we're going to have main. And in func main, the first place I think about starting out is firing up listen and serve. Right? I want to listen for stuff and serve it. Like some great Depeche Mode song, master and servant. And then I'm going to do HTTP. And it's kind of like, I didn't even type. And, you know, not found handler, not found, handle func, handle. And handle func, it wants that func, right? It wants a func response writer pointer to a request. So I'll do that and do, I don't know, default, home, and then I could do func home, and it's going to have a response writer, and then a request, and it's a pointer to a request, boom, and then we'll just do one more of those, and we'll do about. And then we'll have tpl.execute template, response writer, template name. Is that what's next? How do I get my code completion? I don't know. I start back here. T. It's writer string data. Writer, and this is going to be home, nil. This one's going to be, it's going to be, this one's going to be about.go HTML. I'm going to change these so we don't have confusion. Okay, and this one's going to be default. All right, just so you can see how they're connected. And I'm going to create those templates. So default.go HTML. And anchor. And then I'm going to copy this and about. So we got those, and then last thing we want to do is be able to serve files. That one's a little bit not as easy to pull up fresh from my mind. So godoc.org/net HTTP. I have no idea why I just launched that into a new window. Godoc.org/net HTTP. And I'm just going to search for serve. Listen, serve content, serve file, serve TLS. File server, root file system, returns a handler. So I'm going to do http.handle, which wants a pattern and a handler. So my pattern is going to be stuff, and / says everything down the line. Okay. I'm going to create that, and then I need a handler here, and this will return a handler. File server returns a handler. So http.fileserver. And it needs a root file system. Sorry, it needs a file system. And type file system has this method attached to it. So file system is interface. And it says if you have that method, then you're a file system. Open string file air. And dir has open string file air as a method. Right? So anything that's typed dir has that. And so that means it's a file server, so I can put the dir there. And if I look at what dir wants, it's a string. So I'm going to do http dir, and I'm just going to put a string in there, and I'm going to say that first. And there's that thing about strip prefix. And so here we have under handler file server, we got strip prefix, which also returns a handler. And it takes a prefix and a handler. So strip prefix takes a prefix and a handler. Well, this will be my handler here, because that returns a handler. So I'm going to do http.strip prefix, and I'm going to strip off stuff. Maybe, and it strips that, and then it needs a handler. So there's my handler, and I'm going to put here a folder and call it assets. I don't know, it could be anything. And so when a request comes in, let's put something in assets. I had a puppy picture somewhere. Probably here in serving files. Serving, file server, give me a puppy. Static. There's Toby. So if on this page I want to insert an image, that is going to be at stuff / toby.jpg. I've got that in the assets folder, right? So I'm just going to split horizontally for a minute. And so I asked for something at stuff / toby.jpg. I want to serve that image. And it says, well, I handle stuff and anything down the line. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to strip stuff off of your request. Whoop. So that's gone. Okay. which leaves me with / Toby JPEG, and I want to serve that from assets / assets. Or do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? Or do I want to do this? So my dir is assets. That's the directory I'm going to say anything in here can be served. And so go into assets, and then I will have / Toby JPEG. So I'll basically have assets / Toby JPEG. I think I'm messing something up here. This one always throws me off. Let's experiment with it and see if we can't solve it. But other than that, I think we built it. So that's on default. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to terminal and cd into go source GitHub goes to 11 Golang web dev bump 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 71 and what happened? So 16, line 16. Thanks. So this needs to be about. Try it again. Allow. And this is localhost 8080. Ah, awesome. Totally served. So we got it right. I thought it was going to have like, what would happen if it's like that? Doesn't work. If we look at that, we have stuff / Toby. I guess it doesn't show us what's happening on the server side. And if we had it like this, I thought maybe this way. Hey, that also works. Start from the current directory in which main is in. So I think that's the way we had it before. Current directory that main is in, and then go into the assets folder. But it also interestingly worked just like this. It did not work like that. Does it work like this? Also works like that. And what was the code I had before? Dot / assets. I think the way that it, I mean, that makes sense, going from the current folder into assets. Oops, that's not our code. This is our code. So, well, we did call it asset. That's all assets. And originally, when we did resources, assets. This time I called it stuff. So that's kind of like a little bit of a nuanced thing. But now you could add your CSS. So it's been a little time since I've done CSS. But on default, I'm going to default, which is not opening. Oh, it's down here. How do I include CSS? Up in my head, link, and my CSS is going to be in stuff / main.css, right? And then in here, I'm going to create new style sheet main, and then split vertically, and then I got to think about what I want my page to look like. So we could just start out with background. We'll do body. Sorry, we'll do HTML body. And we'll do, we have content. We have padding, 0. Margin, 0. Padding, border, 0. And box sizing, border box. So that kind of like sets everything up. And then we could do body, background, color, blue, Dodger blue, cornflower blue. And we could just test that to see if it's working. See if it served our CSS. Sweet. And maybe we want a picture for our background. You want to see a little HTML dev? Or no, CSS? You want to see build this? I mean, that's kind of like the Go side, but do you want to see a little bit of HTML, CSS? No? Yes? Do you know HTML, CSS? You were in my class, right? You were in my, no. Oh, you're in my current HTML, CSS class. You too?
I'm in your class now, but I'm familiar with CSS.
You are also in my class?
Yeah.
And you're familiar with it? Okay, cool. So this will serve you well. So now I'm going to grab like an image. I'm just wondering if I have an image already. See what we can find. Yeah. Just looking to see if there's anything that. All right, so I don't know. Dog. Dogs are always good. Cityscape. That's pretty nice. I think I like that one. Save image. City. And I want to put that into my, I guess I'll just put it on my desktop. And then I will get it from my desktop. Drag it into our folder. All right, so we could do background image and URL, and it's going to be /assets /stuff /city.jpg, and we want background repeat, no repeat. And we want background. We got repeat, image, color, attachment, and nothing on that. Background attachment, background size, cover, background size, repeat, image, color, attachment, position, center, background attachment, blend mode, clip, origin, position. I think that's it for background. And now we could take a look at that and see if that's working. This is home. So we have stuff Toby and stuff main CSS. And so that's the main CSS. And then we have stuff city.jpg, and that's city.jpeg. Cool. And I want to put like div pound above the fold, and then we'll make this div. Now we'll do this ATF. For a class, it's a dot. For this, it's that. Yeah, that's right. And then I want it to be what's the vertical height? We have VW, vertical width, and VH. VH 100. Height. Oh, there we go. Thank you. 100 VH. 100 VH. Nice. So that's the background, but it kind of pushed everything else down. Oh, that's because everything else is beneath that div. And then we might have in that div, we might have a header bar, and so that could be header. So this could be main. It's like the main content on the page above the fold, and then the header will be width. Well, I think it's already block level content, so we don't have to specify width. But height, let's do position fix. Do we want that? The top. Position fixed. Position fixed, right? It's funny if you don't use something for 6 months. And then we have top 0, left 0, and background color. We'll do like a light blue. I want that to be RGB. Oh, I gotta do it like this. There we go. There we go. And then the viewport. So the height will be like 5 viewport height. Let's see what that looks like. You see what I'm trying to do is just get like a header across the top. Top left, background color, height. Why is that not showing up? Maybe it needs to be up here because it's out of content here. So there it is right there. So I need to give it a width. Width, 100 viewport width. And we'll make this 7. And we'll make the color kind of more of a, needs to be a blue. Oh, refresh. There we go. So there it is up there at the top. A little bit more purple and it would be good. And not quite as much height. And then inside here, we could have div left, div right. So this would be the stuff on the left and right. And then that header, we could do display flex. And we got the flexbox thing. And then everything becomes a flex child. And then we have justify content operates on the primary axis. So the default is Flexbox CSS. Complete guide to Flexbox CSS tricks. So display flex direction is row by default. Flex wrap is by default no wrap. Flex flow. Justify content is the primary axis. Yeah, main axis is justify content, and row is your main axis. So this we want space between. And align items is the cross axes, and we want center. And then for each of those divs, header, div, we say background color red, just so we could see it. So there's our left and our right. So we could start to put items on each side. And then the last thing I'll do is right here in main. We could do Chicago. And we could do main, display, flex, justify content, center, align items, center. And actually these are all ATF. And font size is like 16, 5 rem, 6 rem, 8 rem would be 128 pixels. See what that looks like. And font color, which is just color. It's kind of cool. And I'll make that one font a little bit bigger for the stuff here. Font size, 2 rem, and color white. And then I will do each of those. I want, we have content, and then we have padding, and then we have border, and then we have margin. like maybe, how do I push them off of the left and the right? Margin, top, bottom is 0. Left, right would be like 2 rem. So I brought it in off the left and right a little bit. And then we could have content down below. But that would always be, right, no matter what device. Well, we'd want to fix that font because that just kind of broke. But no matter what device you did it on. So to fix that font, so it scales a little bit. What is the font that scales? We would make this instead of rem. Let's get rid of that. We would make this font size right here. It starts out 12 rem. We would make it like maybe 60 viewport width. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, that's really big. It's kind of cool. Let's try 10. So you can see that you'd want to find something that restarts your server every time you make a change. So that's pretty good. And now as we change it, it's a little bit too small, but so maybe 15. How many people liked that? You like seeing it? You like seeing it? Yeah. Right? Because it kind of shows you, like, look, we just built that all up from scratch in 32 minutes. You know, we're getting close. We'd have to add some stuff, but let's just make sure when we go to about, it works and goes back home. Works. It's pretty beautiful right there. It's too bad Chicago has so many problems. I think that area probably is okay. Looks like there's money there. All right, anybody have any questions?
Do you have to restart your server in order for the CSS change to propagate? Or wouldn't, if you hit refresh, wouldn't it make a fresh request?
No, because it loads everything down into binary. Wait, maybe. I don't know. Let's find out.
Yeah, it should just be like, well, I would think.
Let's find out. So I'm going to change color to red. Font color to red.
Yeah.
And you're saying maybe I don't have to do anything? Oh, that's awesome.
Back to like, man, this like, where, what's the point? Restart, quit killing your server and restart, like, man, that drives me crazy. Like all the time. I was looking for something on Go similar to NodeMon for Node, which automatically restarts your server every time you make a change. But all I found was like a
That's cool. I'd forgotten that or didn't know it. Okay, I like that.